You guys met in London.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you approached Pia. You recognized each other because of your respective Tatler covers. Okay, we want to know, where were you? Which area in London? How did it happen? We want to know all the details.
Okay, well, maybe I'll start there. So before living in New York, I lived in London. It was my home for 10 years, and I saw Pia in Covent Garden. It's an area that I'd walked through so many times in the last 10 years, an area that I know very, very well. And when I saw her, as you said, I recognized her instantly. And the funny thing is that we had crossed paths a few times before, but never really actually met each other and were formally introduced. So I saw her and I was like, listen, I get one shot. So I ran up to her. It all went from there.
What did you say? Well, I want to know what you said.
I think I just introduced myself and said, look, my name. I introduced myself and mentioned that we had mutual friends in common because I'd been to the Philippines a couple of times in the past. We knew some people in similar circles, so it wasn't just completely out of the blue.
Great. How do you feel that your fans, and there are thousands of them, they're all rooting for you and they're rooting for the both of you? How do you feel about that?
Well, it's very exciting. I'm very happy that the response has been so good. It just makes things so much easier. I'm so happy that everybody's so supportive, and just thank you so much. It just makes things so much easier when everybody's supportive, everybody's rooting for your relationship, and that everybody wishes you well.
Yeah, exactly. Jeremy, there were rumors swirling around on Instagram of your budding relationship. The glasses, I don't know, where you guys were in Bali, I think. Were you hesitant to make the relationship public? I know you guys are a little bit off because I know we were speaking earlier, Pia and Jeremy. This is the first time that you're actually doing this.
Yeah.
And I know you guys are on Zoom days or doing all these things, but this is the first time you're doing this with everybody else. So are you afraid to make the relationship public?
It wasn't so much afraid, I don't think. It was more really wanting to make sure that we invested in each other and got to know each other, and really that the foundation for our whole relationship was built on the two of us really becoming close and understanding our values, the things that we cared about, the things that we wanted. And on the flip side, knowing that obviously people would be interested and people would want to know about us, we just felt it was really important that we set a good foundation before we came out and did something like this.
Fantastic. Pia, you mentioned in the Tatler interview that in Jeremy, I love this quote, that in Jeremy you met the male version of yourself. Can you elaborate on this?
Because when I met Jeremy, we really clicked right away, and we just talked nonstop, and we found so many things in common, and it's almost like love at first sight, I think, even though you won't admit that it was love at first sight. It was. And so you're right earlier, by the way, that this is kind of different for us because usually when you do an interview as a couple, you're together physically, and then it's, and then you would be in front of us, and it wouldn't be like this. So this is kind of new to me. I've never had to do an interview like this. So I'm a little nervous, actually. I don't know why.
We live in funny times, but I'm sure we'll get through this as well. Jeremy, I know you were supposed to come to Manila in March. You were actually supposed to speak in Manila House as well. When was the last time you saw each other?
Wow. So it would have been, February, right, baby?
Yeah, New York.
Yeah. Ooh, that's what you call each other.
Well, I call him my love, and then he calls me baby and other things.
Wow, other things. Oh, this is very important for the Filipinos. Pinoys, right? We call ourselves Pinoys. Okay, what Tagalog word do you know? The most important one.
Mahal kita.
Ah!
all the important things.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, and I also taught him KILIG. He also know what KILIG means.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people who comment on our page now, they say KILIG a lot. So I told him, you know what KILIG means, right? Like, because I do say it to him, like, I feel so KILIG, or you make me so KILIG. So he knows what it means now. So KILIG, mahal kita, maganda. What else, babe? Like, I mean, those are the important ones.
The important ones, right? Those are the ones that we try and say to each other.
Yeah. I've known you guys, and I'm KILIG as well right now, because seeing you guys.
I'm KILIG too, and I'm nervous. Oh my god.
Okay, Pia, has a long distance and the pandemic since it's interrupted your relationship, how do you feel you can make it stronger? How do you manage all this?
I think it's really important to. You mean like for a relationship, or just being in?
If you're long distance and plus the pandemic, you can't see each other. How do you make this relationship strong?
I think
given the parameters.
I think constant communication is so important. We talk to each other every day. Every day, like walang mintes. Every day we talk to each other. Sometimes we talk twice a day, and we'll talk for hours if he didn't have to go to a meeting or to go to work, which he still does, by the way, up to now, every day. We would be talking for hours, and that's just how we bond. We just talk about everything. And I think that's so important, especially for couples that are long distance relationship now. Talk to each other every day, check up on each other every day, check up on each other, and talk about the real things too. Don't just like pretend that, oh no, I'm good, baby, like nothing's wrong, I'm fine. I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic and so many things going on in the world right now. So it's really important to be honest and to catch up, to check on each other. Be really honest. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeremy, you met in London, Hong Kong, Indonesia, then New York in a span of a year, but it was in Hong Kong on a special day that Jeremy, you mentioned in the article as well, that you wanted to be, this was the moment you wanted to be with Pia. Take us to that situation and what made it very special.
I think just building on what Pia said, we've really invested heavily in communicating with each other right since the very, very beginning, and just talking about our feelings, talking about what we're looking for in life. And I see it as a huge compliment that she thinks that I'm a male version of her, because I see how driven and smart and intelligent she is, and how much I learn from her, and hopefully she learns from me. So I think with Hong Kong, what was so special about that was we just walked around Hong Kong just talking. Really, like, there was no fancy dinners, there was no shows or anything really that you might do when you're early dating life. We were just walking around and talking, and I think we touched on it in the article, but I remember sitting down in a little park, and we had all these school kids running around us and making noise, and birds in the trees, and just being in the middle of nature in the middle of Hong Kong, and just looking at each other and talking about the things that we wanted, and realized that they were very similar. Realized we had shared values, realized that we both we both wanted the same thing, and then it was love at first sight. I was like, right, I'm done.